In an effort to celebrate Black History Month, the America East Conference is honoring one African-American alumni from each of its 9 institutions. In this segment, Boston University graduate Ewell Hopkins talks about his career running track at Boston U and his work at Marthas Vineyard.
First of all, I'm very honored to be considered in this role. Boston University is an important place in my heart. My mother was a graduate of the school, my wife, and my in-laws. So we're a BU family. BU was very instrumental in many aspects of my adult life, and I have a very fond place in my heart for Boston University. So this is truly an honor. That's an easy question. First of all, I'd have to say Dave Hemery. Dave was my track coach. He was a world record, is a world record holder, an Olympian, and a man of much integrity. He trained by example. He didn't sit on the sideline with a clipboard. He didn't sit on the sideline in life with a clipboard. He got in there with us. He showed us the way. And he always empowered us to move forward. He would show us what it took to be successful and then give us the tools to accomplish that goal on our own. So I would say David, first and foremost. John Thomas, who was the assistant coach, also an Olympian, also a world record holder. They set high standards, and they encouraged me a great deal. Academically, being in the business school, there were numerous professors that had been a part of industry and now were teaching. So my college experience was a combination very similar to schools that have work-study programs, where I was actually involved with faculty that had done it and were now back in academia helping us go forward. That's interesting. I find a lot of African Americans at some point in their career will go back to what I say their roots. Will go back to addressing the needs of society as a whole. I've been in the private industry for 30 plus years, doing everything that I possibly could in a capitalist society to give back and make the world a better place. But realized that moving into nonprofit work allowed me to do even more. And I see a lot of people of color doing just that. We all have family members or relatives of some sort that have not been as successful in life as they would have been, and they understand the barriers to entry in so many industries. So I think we, as people of color, have a fond place in our heart, regardless of our politics, to want to give back and to contribute to society. Not that others don't, but I think there's a preponderance of that within the black community, and many are role models of mine. Well, the first thing I would say is hold close to your heart the word purpose. Know the purpose of your work, and if it's without purpose, question it. Because if you don't have a passion and if you don't have a purpose for the career pursuits you take, you most often won't be successful. Understand why it is you want to do what you want to do and what impact it will have on society as a whole. And if you can answer those questions, you're tracking in the right way. If you don't have that context, you'll be aimless and you won't be as successful as you could have been. Kimberly, who is also an alumni of Boston University, Kimberly Cartwright, my wife, and I have owned a home on Marthas Vineyard for 13 years now. I summered here, and I've always had a fond place in my heart for the island community. We've made it home in the last 10 years, and we're raising 3 children here. I traveled back and forth to Manhattan for a number of years, running a business that I owned with a childhood friend, and after the recent changes in the economy, I'd like to say, I questioned what my purpose and principles were and realized that I cared a lot about this community and I wasn't doing enough for this community. It's a very fragile community, not just ecologically, but from a human perspective. And I said it was time for me to come home and apply my business skills to the needs of Marthas Vineyard. So housing is the central concern, the cost of living on Marthas Vineyard. And I came back to run this organization to address the real need in housing for a broad economic base of individuals on Marthas Vineyard. Well, first of all, I tell people that being a part of an intercollegiate team got me in and out of college in 4 years. Otherwise, I think I would have wasted more time and it probably would have taken longer to get out. It forced me to have discipline from the first week as a freshman. all the way through. I didn't have time to just waste time. And I also was constantly being reinforced in a positive way to my successes. I had successes each way, each step along the way at school that I don't think I would have had just as a pure student. Accomplishments on the competitive field carry forth in self-esteem and a sense of purpose and a sense of self. So I think I really developed who I was through my athletic experience at Boston University.